Nope.
Hello, how are you, chat? 56 seconds. Let's get this party started early, shall we? Happy belated 4th of July, by the way. Hope everybody had a safe one. Yeah, get this thing going, shall we? I'm ready. No intro tonight, let's just do it. Everybody, hello. I've been outside in the sun. Sorry, I'm a little bit weird colored. Yeah, we're not gonna get into too many conversations. I just want to get playing some games tonight. Just get them fired up, and we're gonna get right into space in your face. That's a pretty good cut. Let's do it. So, here we go. Space, yes. Wow, it's been a minute. Let's go take a look at our creative. And, I'll show you guys where we ended up with the Azov. You know, we made the Azov 7 inspired. I'm going to say it's inspired because it doesn't look like an Azov 7 at all. But we made the SnowRunner inspired truck. That's probably a good start. Why is it taking forever? Holy shnikes. Okay, let me show you what we have here.
Fuel critical.
Gotta wait for it to load textures. For whatever reason, this game hates my SSD. All right, so this is where we are at. This boxy monstrosity. I tried to add a little bit more detail here. I'd like to do some on the sides as well. You know, some sort of something to break up all the flatness. So this is what I ended up with. Let's make it daytime, shall we? Just because that's better. That's pretty okay. That's pretty good. Right there. So, oh my goodness, I fell out. Okay. That's what it's looking like right now. You can see we ditched the old steps and I put in new ones. They actually work pretty well. You can pretty much walk up the side of it. And yeah, so no jetpack. It's perfectly fine for no jetpack worlds. Well, kind of. You got to get good. You got to be better at jumping than me. 2 main seats. We might do more. We got to do some interior work here. We got to make it pretty. It is airtight. So you can see yellow lights, green lights. So it's all airtight on the inside. We actually could get rid of these and put beds in if we wanted to. Maybe that's something that we do. Maybe we make a pretty interior. We still want the oxygen tank, which this is actually a survival kit, but we want the oxygen tank. So those, I do have an idea for those. Like we could replace some of these. We have conveyors that run all the way down the whole backbone here, the main frame part. We could put oxygen tanks in there, save some space, get some of that out of the way. We do have 2 solar panels on the roof. A little bit of just blending them in. There's not a whole lot. You can see like the sides don't really blend in. I'm not too I don't know. Doesn't bother me too much. Maybe there's something we can do there in the future. It is really wide, and when you drive it, it feels like you're driving something really wide. So you just got to be aware of that. I do have 2 cargo containers back here. For right now, these hold 10,000 liters each. Here's my thinking with these. I know that you can see that they're not all the way up here, but I was like, you know what? We should take advantage of the low weight. Keep the weight down here. That's why they're there. Yeah. What I'm going for here is want some other attachments besides a trailer, because, you know, we could do a trailer. I'd also like to do like a drone that could be remote controlled. You know, we could put a little antenna on the back and then remote control a mining drone, and then the mining drone drops off and fills up these. I don't know. I'm still working on what we're going to use this for. The other thing is we have this cool, which I spent probably way more time on it than I needed to. We have this cool fueling connector. One of the big, you know, issues with to do something like this is how do you connect it up to your base? I think I found a good solution for that actually. So let me show you. Let me get I had to get my windows all sorted. Okay. So basically, let's close this all up. We'll get in it. I have a camera on this connector. Okay. The other thing is it locks. It doesn't lock with the park function because it's on a subgrid, right? So when you park the wheels, the connector will never lock unless we do some sort of event control. We could probably do it that way. I'm just not thinking about that. So maybe there's some improvement there that we can do. Okay, so how it works, check this out. All right, we're not gonna use the side camera, all right? And I know I'm already straight, like it is what it is, right? But you can see when I get close enough, let me back up a little ways. When I get close enough to a grid, it's going to tell me if it's okay distance to make it to the fuel connector on the side. It's checking for the grid on the side of the vehicle. If it's close enough to hit it, it'll come up with that little message up in the left. So you can see like it's not up right now. that means once we get up here, it's not going to be close enough to hit that connector. Okay, so let's just find out. I gotta adjust the speed on the wheels. It's like a rocket ship. Let's park it. You can see up here in the corner the LCD is not on, so that means we aren't close enough to hit that connector. Oh, wrong button. Let's check it out and see. So I'm just gonna extend the piston. We'll see if it'll make it. And oh, it did make it. Okay, well I did it so if it won't, if it's reach, you can see it's just making it because because of the game itself. You can see there's clearly a gap where it wouldn't make it, but the game says, okay, you're close enough. We could dial that down just a smidge, like a fraction of a meter, if we really wanted to. We could let's back it up here. And let's go into that sensor. And we'll just say our top extent, which, oh my gosh, it was 2.6. Let's make it 2.55 and just see if it'll count it anymore. I'd like to get it just dialed in just right, so it's like, okay, you know what? It's just a little too far. Well, we know that that works, but it says okay to align now. Oh, because we extended the piston. Hold on. There, it says it's not okay to do it. So maybe we make it go to what was it? We needed to make it go to 2.7 or 2.65 maybe. I had it backwards. We need to make it this. We need to make it more. That's my bad. Let's do that. We'll try 2.65. Didn't count it. Let's try actual 2.7. It still doesn't make it. 2.8. Nope. 2.9. There we go. So 2.9 makes it. Let's try 2.85. We want to get it nice and trimmed out, just as good as we can. 2.85 makes it. 2.8 does not. 2.825. Okay. 2.845. We want to get it just perfect. 2.84. Okay, there we go. We're gonna go 2.845. That, I mean, I feel like it, yeah, you see it's flipping on and off right now, like it's tripping. It's just barely in the range. So yeah, ideally what we would do would be we'd back it up, and then we'd go over here a little bit. If we were to turn a little bit, you know, get a little bit closer. Hold on. It's it says okay to align. Find it. Okay, there it is. You can see engage parking. Says it's okay. That means it should actually touch. Boom. And the piston is set to really soft, so it won't blow up your grid or anything like that. Yeah, and basically then all we got to do is just hit the connect button, and you can see here it's all connected up. If we look outside, everything will be happy and green. You can see the green lights on the connector, kind of. There they are. On the ring there. And I got myself stuck. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's an interesting design. We put a lot of work into these beams, which will never be visible. And I think, honestly, even though it doesn't make as much sense, I think turning them 90 degrees, you know, so the beam part would be visible from the sides would probably look cooler. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it still turned out pretty awesome, doing the beams for the frame and everything like that. And then we do have some batteries stuffed in here and quite a few more stuffed along here with the small. I was trying to get the weight as far back as I could. Still haven't filled out this area yet because I don't know how much weight I want to be all the way up in the front. So right now, this is pretty much it. Yeah, and it drives nice. Let's take it. I'll take it for a real quick wheel. If I can get back up on here. Of course, now my steps aren't going to work. It's not the steps, it's the user. Yep. Alright, so we retract that connector. Let's get going. Let's get going. Back it up. We do have an exhaust pipe on it, so it does smoke a little bit, but like the smoke particle effect is so glitchy that I don't know that I want it. So that might go away. It's right down there on the right side. Excuse me, behind the second wheel, you can see it there. That might go away. But it does, it drives nice. So, and it weighs 44,000 kilograms right now. Quite a bit. Quite a bit for a rover, for sure. But it has, we're trying to make this, we're trying to make it survival friendly, but we're trying to make it something that you could use in survival. You know, like once you, survival is kind of weird, right? It's like once you have the ability to, we're just going to show how easy this is, okay? We pull up to the connector, just like this. That's it. Boom. That's all you got to do. Way to get some fuel. Boom. Done.
Fuel critical.
That's super easy for a fuel connector, I think. I think that's great. Anyway, so you know, I'm trying to make this thing something that you can use in survival. So we have to give it some really cool features. So that'll be in probably another stream. Tonight, I want to build something new. Right? We need to build some tests of something. I know everybody's, you know, everybody does the VTOL scripts and stuff like that, and I like that. I think doing it by script is awesome, but I'd like to do it without a script. So that's what we're going to try tonight, okay? We're going to try building VTOL. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, vertical takeoff and landing. Basically a ship flyer that has automated thrusters that can, you know, swivel and rotate directions, okay? Think like a drone on steroids, kind of. That's kind of what we're going for. Minimal thrusters. Yeah, that sort of thing. So, we're going to start with a small grid one just because, you know, like, easier to work with when you're trying to design something out, and then we can kind of scale it up to something big. We're gonna need a landing gear. We're gonna need some thrusters, and then the rest we'll probably figure out later. We need the Atmos. Where are they? Where is? Oh, right here. Okay. Batteries. Gyro. That's our basic. We're going to need the event controller block, and we're also going to need AI blocks. Just to try and figure out how we can do it. Okay, let's get started. Let's put a magnetic plate down. Right there, that'll work. See, that guy's already magneted himself to the other grid. Let me just get a different color here. Just different. Plastic. Go loud. Loud and proud. Not that loud. Not quite as loud as... That's pretty good. All right, we're gonna go up a couple. There we go. Okay, now, how are we gonna test this out? Oh, we need a cockpit. Typing cockpit. And that one. There we go. We're just trying things. Right? We're just trying things. Don't go crazy. We're gonna need some rotors. Let's think about, actually, should we do hinges? You know what? We'll get a little bit of both. We'll get a little bit of both. All right. It's yeah, this is the Mark 1, so you know the way my builds work out, it's usually they end up about Mark 500 before we got them done. This is no different. Okay, let's slap a couple batteries on there. Again, don't worry about looks. We're testing features, okay? We're gonna use small hinge for this. How do you want the thrusters to go? Front to back? I think so. So you want it to go this way. But, well, no. You'd want it to be on a rotor. You'd want it to be on a rotor. Let's think about this. We gotta also make sure our 0 is the right way. That's fine. We can figure that. Yeah, you know what? We should. Let's make 0 always at the top. We'll figure it out. There. So if we put a thruster on that, it can rotate. Let's think about this. It can rotate forward, back, and all the way around. Okay? What if we put a hinge on top of that? That can go... No, not that way. No, yes.
Fuel critical.
Then it can go side to side. Then it can go... You see what I'm saying? Then it can go this way. Okay. Put a little thruster on there. A little baby one. Just trying things out. There we go. We're probably gonna need a we're gonna need a fuel source on this probably in a minute. Let's just make sure we've got one ready to go. Oh, you know I like it in the center. There we go. Let's give it some fuel. Probably need some uranium in it. What do you think? About 100? Sure. Okay. So we have that. What does an event controller do for us? Okay. I don't think we needed the move blocks, but I think we need an event controller. I don't know that it can tell what a key press is. So that's what we've got to figure out. What can it do? What can we do with it? So we're gonna call this rotor LF and hinge LF, okay? Just so we know that that's the left front. Yeah, okay. Event controller. Let's just see. I mean, what are the actions? Altitude change, angle change. Okay. Greater than 1. Okay, so you can do stuff with altitude. You can do stuff with an angle up to 360 degrees. Oh, okay. Zero that out real quick. Let's see what else there is. Cockpit is occupied. Okay. That might be useful. nothing really blowing my skirt up here. How we need some way to use key presses for this. Right? Remember, we're trying to make it scriptless. Merge block merge, landing gear locked. Natural gravity change, player piston position, power output, forward power, thrust percent. Here we go, thrust percent. What do you think? I don't know that we can rely on that as a. I don't know that we can rely on that. What I do think we can rely on, let's see if we can do something here.
Fuel
Right.
critical.
Let's just see if we can cheat the system a little bit. Right? Let's put a wheel on the grid. You don't want no fancy one, just give me a left. A left little baby one. Okay? Put him right here, okay? Just humor me for a minute, okay? Let's go back into our event controller. Let's see if there's something there for that. No. I was hoping that there would be a, I was hoping there'd be a wheel. Lock on off. If there was a wheel speed condition, right? Front, you know, like a, well, if this wheel speed is moving, then turn the thruster a certain way. That's kind of what I was going for there. Power output, you can't really do that. Piston. Rotor hinge. No. Forward power, thrust percent. So, here's the thing. It does not understand that it's a thruster, but the wheel moves. You see, the wheel moves. The thruster doesn't do anything because it's a subgrid. Okay? So, but we can't, there's no function for anything like that, right? Whoa, okay, it got a little freaky there. Oh my gosh. Going too fast. Okay. So, we gotta figure out if there's a way that we can somehow use that wheel. Okay? Left and right, you see, you'd think maybe you can get that to trigger a sensor. You think? You think we could get something that dialed in? So here's, hang on.
Fuel critical.
What if we put a wheel on the front? Okay. Let's just see what happens when we hit forward. Spins it. Turn, so it steers, it's still, the front wheel still steers with left and right. Dang. I was hoping that it would turn when you hit the forward. But it's not as smart as we were hoping. What if you put it sideways? It's still gonna do the same thing, right? Yep. Yeah. Well, that doesn't get us anywhere for, it doesn't get us anywhere for forward and backward. And up and down. So vertical doesn't get us anywhere. Yeah, that's tough. It's only left and right. So that means, like, know if it's worth putting the sensor time in. You know what? Let's test it just so we can know in advance if our sensor idea would work. How can we test that? If we were to go... So, let's just go out here with this. You know what? This block, we're gonna have to move this just back one. Maybe not, but... where do my wheels go? On the next thing, isn't it? Oh, see, it won't place a wheel there. Crap. We need more than one block of space. Oh, sorry. Let's get rid of that. Try to keep my workspace tidy. Let's go one more block. Okay. And the same thing over here. Let's just make our own little way out here. Let's just see about a sensor. Okay, we're just gonna use the old classic ones. Nothing fancy right now. Call these LF1, LF2. Okay. So, if LF1, let's just call it LF. That's right. We want it to turn right if that one triggers. If this one triggers, we want it to go left. LFR and LFL. It's pretty complicated, I know. We're gonna zero these guys out. Left, right, bottom and top, back, and the front extent is only gonna be like 0.1, something tiny. We'll see if it'll trigger. We're gonna not detect any of this stuff for subgrid. Okay. So, just see if we can see that blue trigger. Where's front? Yep. So somewhere around half it takes to trigger it. So we're going to make it 0.4. And then we're going to do, we're going to do the same. This is what I get for drinking like sodas before I get on stream. I'm all burpy. We're going to do the same config here. Run extent 0.4. No players, subgrids. Okay. That should do it. So if we were to steer it, we should see that thing trip. Oh my gosh, wrong button.
Critical.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Why would that be? Oh. Is it the top extent that's killing us here? I don't think so. It was detecting it fine when we dialed it up. Try 0.5. Doesn't trigger there. I should have probably changed on this one too. Let's just see. No? That's not a very good method either, Especially when the wheel freaks out like that. But 0.6 triggers. I think. No, that didn't trigger either. Okay, good to know. Yeah. Oh, now it triggers. Look at this, 0.6. And it's triggering. See that? Okay. All right, so
Fuel critical.
what you could do would be on this. We have, oh, well, we've got a problem now. We've got all this stuff in middle of our, we gotta, this is a very complex setup. Very complex. Let's get rid of all this crap. This guy's never gonna work because this can't rotate anymore. Because he just doesn't have any room. So, if you were to do this, you'd have to compact this setup somewhere. But, just for argument's sake, alright, let's go back and redo it. Oh, come on. Okay, whatever. Can't be bothered. It's out of sight, it's out of mind. Alright, we're gonna come off this a little ways, and then, do our rotor. Okay. Do a hinge on the top of that. Okay. See, the rotor spins, but we want the hinge to be able to go that way, right? Up and down. Okay. Let's goof. Let's goof and figure it out, okay? Let's just see what kind of trouble we can make for ourselves. Alright. There's our happy thruster. So, saying when you turn right, what that would do would be, it would make the thrust, it would make the hinge turn upward, okay? So the hinge, we gotta call that left front. We're gonna do the work. Even though we don't know how feasible this design is, let's do the work. So, when sensor LFR, that's what happens when we want to do a right turn. Okay, that means that thruster, that hinge, should. Oh yeah, we gotta have some RPM, don't we? Should start going this way. Let's make the velocity 0.5. Okay. How do you control that?
Fuel critical.
Okay. We got to think about something here. How do we control this is going to be very complex. How do we control it to go back down? So the on state, we're going to use the actions here. Okay, and we're just going to say, look, when it triggers, man, this is, I can already tell you it's not going to work right, but hinge LF. You can't really reverse direction, right? Set velocity. We're going to set it to 3.5. Okay. And then when it's off, we're going to set it to negative 3.5. Okay. Wherever that is. Negative 3.5. It's going to go too far though, and it's going to go under or around. So we're going to have to give the hinge some limits. Does that work? Negative 3.5 and 3.5. On, when it's not detecting, it's going to set to negative 3. Okay, so on the hinge, we're at 90 degrees. We're going to say the max it can go. Let's go 60 degrees. And then we're going to say, well, the upper would be 60. The lower would be 0. Lower limit would be 0. The upper limit would be 60. Okay. There it goes. So it put it back in. That's saying, hey, that's how much it can go to the side. That might even be too much. I don't know. Although it is there. So it should go back to 0. Boom. Not very fast though, is it? When you want it to move, you really want it to move faster. So let's change that speed. Let's go look at the right sensor. Setup action. Let's set velocity. Oh my gosh, how high do we want to go to this? 10 RPMs? And negative 10 RPMs, maybe? That's about 3 times as fast. Let's just take a look and see. I don't know, that still feels kind of weak, doesn't it? I don't particularly think that's great. I don't know. All right, let's double it. We want it to be... Oh, wait. No, I'm doing this in the wrong spot. Okay. Double it to 20. Set velocity 20 RPM. And negative 20 RPM. Okay. How's that? Gosh. I guess we won't know until we go... If we get something flying. We still have to figure out what we're going to do about forward. I don't know, other than we don't want to use scripts. So, do we just have a forward thruster and then have these tilt? Is that maybe our first design? Should we just try having a forward thruster? One single forward thruster? Maybe you slowly rotate it forward depending on what that thruster is doing? I don't know. Okay, well, so we got this direction. Okay, now we want to do the other side, which is this one. But man, here's the thing. If we trigger this one, we can't, the limit is already set to be right here, right? Like, it can either be there or it can be there. So this direction, turning to the left, it can't tip that thruster. So having only, well, you know what though? The one wheel can trigger either direction, right? So doing left and right. Maybe what we do is with the other thruster, we take, well, if we put our other thruster over here, let's say, maybe this guy doesn't lean and he just becomes a, you know, stability for the air. Let's do a rotor. Zero is going to be funky on this, right? It's going to be different. And then the same thing here. The hinge has to go up and down. I didn't look at the, I don't know, do those have like a natural orientation? I don't play with hinges too much. Big deal. We will figure it out. Boom, there's our other thruster. So we're going to use the LFL. We're going to trigger this thruster when we hit left instead. So that one will tip that way. When we're turning right, you know, the left side thrusters will turn. Meanwhile, when, these guys over here on the right side will stay flat. And then when we turn left, they'll go the other way. Right? Sounds fair. Sounds fair to me. So, hey, what do we need? We need the sensor. I make that distance the same. 6. Was this guy at 6? Yep, okay. So our actions on this are going to be the hinge, velocity. Oh, wait, we didn't give it a name. We'll give it a name here in a second. So, set velocity. Do we think it's negative? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out before we go do it. We'll give it a name too. Oh, rotor RF. Okay. Let's mess with the velocity a little bit here. Okay, it's still a positive. Somehow, someway, it's still positive and it's still negative. But the angle, we want the max angle to be 60 again. Okay, so the upper limit's still going to be a 60. Oh, that's good. I wonder if they did some work there, because it seems like, you know, the rotors used to be kind of goofy, like when you swapped them left to right. Hinges don't appear to be that way, so that's kind of nice. We're sparking a little bit, not sure why, but okay, so that's good. We're gonna make this 20. Even though it doesn't matter because we're gonna set it in this. The left sensor. So that is going to be. Did we set up the detection types? We'll have to. Oh yeah, no, we did. We totally did. Am I not on a hinge? Ah, I'm not. The right front. No. Yes, the right front hinge. We want to set velocity 20 or minus 20. Wow. Wait, that was a moment, wasn't it? Okay. There we go. So we got our right action. There's our left. We want to go left. Boom. We want to go right. There we go. You can see. We want to go right. We want to go left. That one's sparking a little bit. That's a little scary. We don't have a way to control the front and back motion yet. We got to think about that. It's gonna have some interestingness to it. So that's good though. We've got these set, and we did it using a wheel. So I guess the question becomes, how can we do that? How can we capture that? Wait a minute. Got it. The speed, no, the speed doesn't change. Hey, Sivas, how are you? We're messing with vertical takeoff and landing, and we're trying to do it scriptless. How are you? Hope all is well. Yeah, so vertical takeoff and landing, we're trying to do it scriptless. So what I'm using here is I'm using a wheel, because capturing keybinds without scripts is really not possible, right? So when the wheel turns, the sensors detect it, right? And that rotates the thrusters. Okay, so if we want to go right, left, see, we can get a little bit of both. If you're fast enough, I guess. But there's no way to control the front to back. I'm still taking up. Wait, I are still taking up space. Just notice the time it rushed over. Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't actually know if I was going to get on or not because there's tons of fireworks going off in my neighborhood. I was like, it might be kind of annoying trying to stream, but they've quieted down quite a bit. I'm sure they'll peak back up here in about probably about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. We'll see. Anyway, so that's where we're at right now. Is left and right motion. We've got it. Okay. So in theory, all right, let's
Fuel critical.
just do something stupid here. Okay, let's replace these with big boy thrusters. Okay, just because we don't know how much. Obviously, this thing's gonna crash. Okay, because it doesn't have a whole lot of thrust. It doesn't have one on the back. You know what? We'll stabilize it. Let's give it a. We'll give it a back and we'll give it a front, and just end it. One back, one front. Nothing crazy. We need a gyro too, probably. Let's just stick that on there. Let's put another thruster over here. Okay. Oh, you gotta use the fancy ones. Everybody likes the fancy. I like these ones better. Why? Do they still turn? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at this silly thing. All right.
Fuel critical.
You know we gotta save first. All right. So we've got forward, back. We really don't have lateral control right now. Okay. So let's just. We're gonna copy it. Let's see what it does. Okay. I mean, the thrusters don't have an up. They don't have a thrust control right now, right? Like, they're not going to speed up on their own. Yeah. They don't, because they're on a subgrid, there's no thrust control. There's nothing going whoosh whoosh and making them go faster. Oh gosh. it just hammered the crap out of it. Bang. Okay, so we got to figure out thrust. How do we go up and down? Space bar does nothing for us right now, right? We've got forward, we've got back. That's it. But those are connected right to the ship. Okay. So what if you have just one of them? And we say, hey, look, this thruster's going. Copy that to... hold on. Let me complete my thought here. Event controller percentage greater than 10. No, you know what? We're gonna say greater than 20, just to make sure there's no errors. Then so we're saying if the forward thrust. Oh, wait a second. Let's see, if it's greater than 1, then we don't know which is which, do we? We gotta name these thrusters real quick. Large thruster. See, it thinks they're all forward thrusters. But they don't do... Oh, no, they do stuff. Oh, boy. That one over there does stuff. It's mapped. They're all mapped to forward. So they should be doing something. Okay, well, let's figure out which one's which. I just turned one off. Which one was it? That guy's still running. So that guy is this one. So we're going to call him Large Atmospheric Thruster LF. And then this one's going to be RF. There, now we know which one's which. One sec, check this out. What you got for me? Oh boy. Is this, you got a disco? Let me know if you send me a message, because I got my sound turned down. Okay, so on the event controller, let's say the thrust percent is greater than 1, greater than or equal to 1. We still need to know which one's front and which one's back. I think I already know. I think the top one, yeah, that's back and forward. Well, we're just going to call him thruster FW and B, or say REV. Yep, Discord. All right, give me a second. I'm not trying to copy nobody's designs if that's what this is. Let me see. Yes, I know. Scriptless. Yeah, we already know. Scriptless. We want to do it scriptless. All right. No scripts. I know about whips scripts. I know. Let's try and do it scriptless though. All right. Just, is it possible? That's all I'd like to see. My bad. Nope. We're good. Totally good. I really want to see if we can, if there's a way to do it scriptless. Poor thruster. beating the hell out of that one. Okay. So if so our thrust threshold of 1% or greater on the forward. And that doesn't do me any good. We need an up thruster. So you need a static thruster for every direction. Well, forward, back, left and right. No, forward, you need forward, back, and up and down. You would still need thrusters for, right? Like if we were to stick it up and down on here.
Fuel critical.
Shut up, lady. No. Let's do an up and a down. Right there. That gives us every direction. But we would also need an event controller for every block. Okay? For every we would need an event controller for every direction. So we need 4 event controllers, I think. Maybe more? Every link is pointing to that. I know, man. We're discovering our own truth tonight. I gotta give these guys names because it doesn't show you the directional name in here. But we know this is thruster up, but we gotta make it visible in game. This is down. Alright, so event controller, when thrust is greater than 1% on thrust up, what we are going to do is output action slot 1. Oh, this feels really dangerous. How can I make it? We need a group for these 2 thrusters. Let's call these, what would you call these gyro? We're going to call them VTOL thrust. That's a good name for it. So we would do VTOL thrust. Oh my gosh. Set override percentage, but we can't set it to match because it's a static value here. You can't have it match. See what I'm saying? There's no way to match it. So we basically have to just say, do it to 100. This is going to be crazy stupid. It's going to be really bad. So override thrust is going to be 0. Go. That's our on and off, basically. So now whenever we hit up, whenever we hit up on the thruster, it's going to cook those ones. Oh my god. Literally cook them. Wow. Geez. I don't have much to say about that one. Scriptless sub. Oh, dude. Okay, you have to send that to me. I'd be interested in watching it. There's a video for scriptless subgrid thrusters. You hammered it, dude. It went so fast it twisted it. It twisted the rotor. That's what got us. It's my bad. This guy's still working though. Oh, he's off though. Let's see what happens when we turn him back on. Oh my god, yeah, the rotor flipped it upside down instantly. Look at it. It can't take the heat. So the rotor is the problem. Let's how do I get that back to 0? We gotta set the lower limit to 0, I think. Set the RPM to 2. There we go. It'll get there eventually. What? Well, no. If we wanted these to go, we'd say 90 to... Oh, but we don't want it to rotate around the top. So the upper limit, let's think about this. On this side, let's just figure this out. On this side, even though the other side's broken, we don't want it to rotate over the top because it goes from 90, over the top goes from 90 to 70, right? We want it to go 90 as the top to 270 or whatever. So the upper limit should be 90. This is really weird. The upper limit should be 90. The lower limit should be 270. Negative 270, I should say. Let's see what that does. It just spins. Okay. All right, but did I get that wrong? Because it still spun. Yeah, see? That's not right. See, it should be like that. 90. Right there, to negative 90. My bad. Yeah. It's weekend math, okay? It's weekend math. 180 degrees, duh. Makes sense. There we go. That should do it. So that's our forward and back. We're gonna need some braking torque on it, obviously. I think 110,000 is the highest you can go without it going red. I think if you were to try 115... no, oh, wait. It goes... Wow, you can go all the way up now? Without it going and erroring? Okay. Alright, so the problem here is that when you hit forward, well, when you hit up, oh my gosh. When you hit forward, it doesn't know to turn this way. when you hit up, it's doing the thrust. So you'd almost have to do timers to do it. Let's see what you're saying. All right, we're gonna pull up this. We're gonna pull up this video and see what Savad has for us. Let me grab that. Let me turn on a window for it. Okay. This is Calavera Engineering. We're gonna subscribe already. Let's see what we're looking at here. Scriptless subgrid thrust. Yeah, my window's way too big in it. Hold on. Let me fix that.
Yes, this is scriptless vanilla subgrid controls for everyone.
Okay. I need some cool intros like this.
Hello fellow engineers and welcome back to another video on this channel. Today I would like to show you something.
I got a little bit better of a tan than this guy. I'm just going to say that.
This is the scriptless subgrid control. At least it is one first configuration that kind of works pretty good. And this is the base configuration. All this started
Event controllers
a couple of months ago with these little devices. The right one is a version Hank Jimbo made. The left one is an updated version of mine. And these
on the right track, you see?
WASD controllers supposed to control subgrids with an input taken from wheel suspensions. But it turned out they aren't working very reliable.
Get the plushie and put it on top of your chair. The plushie.
Some others with gravity. So this was the very first try of making a scriptless WASD controller for controlling subgrid thrusters or maybe subgrid wheel suspensions.
How's he capturing W though?
Update, we are a step further with that, and now it uses event controller blocks to grab some input signals that are caused by WASD and additionally now from space and
the SE. Yeah, I don't have a plushie, man. I really want the Sabroid, you know, the spider.
An output for subgrid thrusters or any other functional block in Space Engineers. Now, as I said, this is the base configuration.
Okay, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Yeah.
This one does come with a sideward thrust on.
With AT&T Business,
bro,
with customers from wherever.
Okay, great. I'm leaving.
Rude. Okay.
Side here to not
fast forward.
Relatively thruster configuration and the thruster angles.
So he's only using hinges.
The weight of the grid, but I think everything is solvable.
What's he using a rotor?
Solution. It is just a lot more work than just putting in a script. But there will be more videos for other and you show more about the controls.
Yeah.
So I am planning on September some also mapping hard. So if you don't want to miss on that, 6 ion thrusters you can see in here, one for each direction of your WASD, space and C controls. Or if you want so, this is recognized by one of these event controllers. The event controllers do use this input to trigger something else. And in this case, it is one of 2 timer blocks you can see here. This is needed as some kind of distributor because the event block only can trigger one functional block. And if that functional block is a timer block, we have the option to distribute that over 9 output signals. So
it's 10. I think it's 10.
Pressing A on your keyboard or left, the event controller triggers a timer block and the timer block ignites a subgrid controller for the same direction. And with this configuration, the subgrid thrusters work just as with a script. And this actually includes the auto dampeners since they trigger the opposite direction ion thruster, as you can see in this example. Now you might have noticed these 2 little thrusters on top of the main grid. They are necessary to create a little more of a smooth stop because of the fast timings of the auto dampeners. Not having these little brakes would cause a flickering and a drift like this. Now we have seen these two more configurations in the background. And the reason is this first configuration doesn't make much sense, because if we want 90 degrees angled thrusters, we don't need any subgrid.
Makes sense.
Why they are here to demonstrate that. This is 45 degrees angled downwards, and this has another problem we have to solve, because with this configuration we just don't produce sideward thrust but also some upward thrust that is not compensated, so every time you rate they don't have this of thrust in the same angle, or they are neutralizing each other if you want so. Now let's demonstrate the exact setup by adding forward and backward thrust to the subgrid and key binding them to W.
So he's not doing anything with rotation specifically.
Rename them.
But he's capturing all the inputs.
You're both to on. See at 20% thrust on the ion thruster for W, and if the key is released, so the ion thruster turns off, it falls back on release function W, which is the second to turn off the thrusters on the subgrid. Now pretty much the same with rename them, we block the thruster.
But this, like you can see his design, where his design I think is different than what I want, is that
and as intended,
he's doing this because he wants to just design a ship with thrusters on an angle. That's what he's showing here, is that hey, you can have thrusters and you can have them on, you know, different angles, and that's great. What I'm trying to do is control it using rotation. So, but it's the same concept. We still need the event controllers and whatnot. So that tells me that we are on the right path. What it doesn't tell me is, and so if we were to go back here where he was talking about this guy, when he said, hey, you can use these, which I got to figure out, I don't understand how he captures the wheel input, the W key. Like he didn't say. So let me see. Let's just go back here real quick and just see.
These little devices. The right one is a version Hank Jimbo made. The left one is an updated version of mine. And these are WASD controllers supposed to control subgrids with an input taken from wheel suspensions. But it turned out they aren't working very reliable due to...
I get it. I totally... Wait, I don't understand. He's got it on a rotor. How did they... What I don't understand is how did they... You see this one, it has blocks on here. It has blocks on the wheel, which is not, that should not be possible. All right, let's get back to the game. I'm gonna, I'll keep that open just cause, but that's very cool. Yeah, so that's exactly kind of what we're going for with ours. And that kind of tells me that, you know, we're making the right decision here, you know, trying it this way. But our goal is to, oh my gosh, my camera, stupid thing. Our goal is to eliminate thrusters, right? Like, what if you only had 4 of these big boys, like on the ship? I mean, there's nothing that we can do. We still need the ions, and I think we're gonna switch to that, you know, eventually, just because that's a better design, having the ions. Because they are smaller, right? They're like 1 block smaller. So, oh well, it would help if we put them up here. Seriously? So in the end, he's using one ion thrust for every direction. Okay. So he's got front, back, left, right. And then you don't have to deal with this wheel setup, which I think is like what he's saying is sketch. I have to agree. Like, this is one genius way to do it. Like you're relying on this wheel moving and whatnot. I don't know how he was adding panels to it though. That makes no sense to me. Like somehow, some way they were able to add panels to it, and that's how you detect the wheel spin. Because then you'd be able to see when you'd be able to put a sensor on another axis and be able to see when it's spinning. But we can't add panels to this, so I don't know if they did something special like that. And it's weird to me. Weird to me, man. Yeah, nothing works. So we're gonna get rid of that part. We're gonna get rid of these sensors. And we are going to go on to using. We're gonna take from that, and we're gonna use ion thrusters. Because, I mean, this is one thruster. This is still pretty cheap. Like if we're talking about, it's still pretty cheap. All right, so let's just make a little thruster thing. This obviously this is just a test ship, right? Oh, there you go. That's why. We'll say that it's my uranium. Let's put that back on actually, so we have some charge. And then we should probably put the uranium back in it. You never know. We might need it. Okay. So all we're going to do is just make a front, back, left, right. And laterals. I guess I could have made that a better design, but it's fine. We need up, down. So right there we can tell every direction, just based on what thruster is doing what. We basically have every direction. And then it's just a matter of making all those event controllers. So we've got to figure out how we can control rotation though. I'm going to delete this one. Let's go back over to the main one. I don't need an ad blocker, sorry. I forgot to check my messages. We need to get these rotors right before we start trying to get thrust on them. Because they definitely need some tweaks. This guy, we're going to max out braking torque so it's not fighting. Okay. We didn't set the... oh shoot. We didn't set the limits, so we got to figure out what those limits are. So it's kind of where I just get in here and then I go and look at the... Why is my camera moving? It is going... Okay, whatever. Alright, so let's just try it again. Let's see if it's actually the 90. I think it is the 90. So the upper limit is 90. Lower limit is negative 90. And we'll see when it comes back around. Oh yeah, it's gonna force it back to the right location. Yeah, it got stuck there. They've done a lot of work to rotors to make them decent to work with. Kind of like this guy. We're going to spin this guy too. You can see he's going the opposite direction. That's fine. So our upper limit is going to be, on this one, it's going to be 270. 270 plus 90. 270 to... Our lower limit is 270 to 360? No. 90? 90. Negative 270 to 90? Does that sound right? Negative 270 to 90? Gosh, that doesn't seem right. That's more than 180 degrees. There's 90. Let's reverse it. See, 180 from here would be negative 90. Not negative 270. It'd be negative 90. Okay. So those rotate like that. We need a little bit... We're going to have to figure out the speed that we want them to go. Let's not worry about that right now. So that's our forward and back rotation. Okay. We have that for both. Now the hinges also need well, we do have upper and lower limits for those hinges. And they're still being triggered by the wheel on this grid. Oh my gosh, did I just smash this thing into that? I did. Okay. So that's going to get changed because we're going to remove that wheel real quick.
Fuel.
Let's get this grid up to speed with all the changes that we've made. Get rid of that and you. There we go. Now let's see. Can it smash itself? Oh well. We don't have thrusters. We gotta change out the Atmos for ions. Let's do that. I'm gonna get rid of. We're gonna clean all this up. It doesn't have to be pretty. It's just try and get it as compact as we can. So like this and this. That and that, and then that, and that hangs off over the side. I don't know that I should do it with that thruster right there, though. We're just going to do it right back down here. There we go. One of every direction. That gives us our directional control. So now it's a matter of event controllers. Timers. Just like that video. Just like that video said, event controllers and timers. I don't really need these here. Not worry about that. Oh, this is a lot. Well, we're going to do 6 total. And let's start with that and just see what we've got from there. So, where do we even start with this? Our first event controller, let's just call it forward. You know what? We're gonna call it forward. We'll just do them all of the directions, and I'm sure we'll find how efficient we can make it later. Let's get it working first. Event controller up, down. And we need a left and a right. Okay, so forward. When we want to go forward, the thrusters need to go. So the rotation on the thrusters, this is where the grouping isn't going to help us because one's inverted from the other, right? So like if we were to go on the rotor, on the left rotor, right? You can see, oh, the angle is the same. Is the velocity the same? That's positive. That's positive. So that's where it's wrong. You see, we have to go with this negative. See how we have to go to this negative velocity on this one to get it to rotate the right direction? They're flip-flopped. So what that means is that we need a timer block so we can apply negative. So we're going to say, let's just add some symbols so we remember in our names. We're going to add a negative and a positive as our forward direction on the rotors. Just humor me. It'll make it easier in our timer block.
Fuel.
We're going to have to put a timer block in to do all that though, since we have to trigger more than one thing. So let's get a timer. We'll use the pretty ones just like they do in their video and make them look all fancy like a little computer servers. Okay. Now the one thing we didn't do was we didn't check and see which one was which. I'm pretty sure. Well, the forward is not that one, right? Oh, it is that one, see? So the timer block right above it. There we go. I'm gonna get rid of, I always get rid of the DLC names, that way it just is easier. We'll say it's forward. You could just do FW on them. Save a little bit. And then we're gonna have our forward actions here. So our forward action, what's our forward action? Our forward action is just gonna be turning the thrusters for right now. We'll add more to it. So our forward action using our thrusters, which we don't have named, dang it, we gotta name them. So let's go look at our large thrusters. Which one is which? Oh, that's the right one. This is the left one. So, gosh, all these names, that's fine. We're just gonna keep it. And call him left. Call this one right. You know what? We should give them front left and front right just for right now. Front left, front right. Okay, life's happy. Let's go back to our timer block. Where is it? How does it still? Oh, because I didn't exit this menu yet. All right. So our thrusters. So the left thruster. Oh. Let's not change anything with the thruster just yet. We're just gonna do the hinges. Let's just do, or the rotors. Let's just do the rotors. So this rotor, we're going to set velocity. You see they also had rotate to angle. You can rotate it to a specific angle, but that's not guaranteeing that it's going to go the right direction. And that's why I'm saying set velocity might work better. So let's find out. So we're going to set the velocity to, on this guy, was this the right that we did? This is the left. It's, so you see we put the minus in the name, that way we know it's got to be a negative value. If you're going forward, it's got to be a negative value. So set velocity. Oh, wait a second though. If you don't do angle, if they're always rotating back and forth, then they're never going to be centered out and they're never going to hover. Or will they? If we set the velocity, like... Let's see if you can use both functions at the same time. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just gonna... If we're just changing the velocity, for like on this guy, let's say he's set to -20, right? And then all of a sudden, okay, we want to go backwards, we're going to flip him to +20. And then when we let off, it's never going to go back down to 0. Like, it's never going to go back to the 0 angle. So let's just see if on that timer block. Let's just try setting to angle 0 and see what happens and see if it does anything. So that's the left front hinge. Let's set angle, rotate to angle 0. That velocity. Oh, it asks you to do it too. Okay, let's just try it. Trigger it. Watch the thruster in the background here, okay? Didn't do it. Why not? Because it has that velocity already? Wait a second. Because it can't go around the top. It's got to be a negative velocity. So you're going to do rotate to angle. The angle's 0. The velocity, let's say it's negative. We'll say it's negative 20. It would be between 0 and 60. It can't be a negative value. I'm very confused about that. Negative values are how you get it to go backward and forward. I did the left front, right? I did the left front hinge, right? Let's set this to 0. Let's go back to our timer block. Left front, rotate to angle. Try it again. No. Rotate to angle. Zero. The vol, I guess 60. It's not doing it. I'm at a loss here. I think it's because it needs to be a negative value. See, when you make it a negative value. So, like, if we have it as a negative right now, I think their intentions were good with adding those functions in there in the timer block, you know, like, but I don't think that they have everything that they need here. Because, so watch, I bet it's going to work if we do this. So rotate to 0. If we were to run it right now, should it work? It doesn't. So maybe we're not doing something right. This is on. We're rotating that hinge. Hinge, left front. What would cause that? Alright. Let's just see if it's my crazy brake torque that's doing something here. Okay. Trigger this again. No. That's not it. Oh, dude. We're on the hinge. Chat. I want to hear. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw it. Nobody saw it. We're good. Rotation direction. It would have to go. If we're going forward, it's got to go counterclockwise. Back that way. Not gonna tell anybody. I appreciate that. Okay. Alright, so here's the thing. You need an on and an off. You basically need 2 timer blocks. you need a I'm running and I'm a not running. I'm a not running. I'm a not running. Okay. So you're going to have a, you ready for this? You're going to have, it's a very complex setup. It's going to be the exact same as what they have, basically, as what we saw in that video. So you're going to say timer block forward. Let's do timer block forward off. Do forward on. Okay, now we've got our 2 blocks. So when forward on happens, we're going to rotate those thrusters. Okay, so we're going to set the direction of the left thruster, and we're doing that by changing this rotor. Let's remove this just so we have it right. We're going to do it again. So we're going to take the left rotor. We're going to say rotate to angle. Where are you? Rotate to angle -90. Is that right? I think it is. -90, the velocity, we're just going to say 20. Counterclockwise. And then let's do that. And then we would also do the same for the other one. Rotate to angle. The angle is going to be 90. Let's go 20 RPMs, rotating clockwise. Let's see what that does. So, this one shouldn't move at all. That one should have moved on the other side, and it did.
Critical.
Kind of, you know what that looks like? The Naboo Starfighter. A little bit, doesn't it? What were those called? You know what I'm talking about? Come on. Everybody knows what I'm talking. You know what? I'm going to go look for it now. Tell me I'm wrong. All right. Hold on. It is a Naboo Starfighter. One moment. Look. You ready for this? Can you? Oh wait, you can't. You can't see the pop. Hang on. Oh, I've got you on the wrong window. Here, see? That's totally it. All right. Back to it. So that's our on function. Now we need an off function when we're not pushing the key. So when we release, that's going to be in the event controller block, okay? As the cancel function. So like in the event controller of the forward, what we're going to do is say, hey, look, when the thruster changes, thrust percent is greater than, we just want it to have just a little bit of, 2.0. We gotta name the thrusters. I forgot. I totally forgot. You wouldn't think you'd have to, but you do. L forward. Okay, right. Backward. Down. And up. Did I miss a direction? Left, right, down, up, forward, backward. Okay. Okay, back to our event controller for forward. Thrust percent is equal or greater than 2.0. Right? And that's going to be on the forward thrust. Okay? On the forward thrust, what we're going to do for our action, our on action is going to be forward on. We'll do trigger now so there's no delay. And then forward off, trigger now for when we release. But we do have to go set up our function for the other thing, right? So we got to go forward off. We don't really care about delay, but let's turn it off here. We're going to rotate our thrusters. Our left front, rotate to angle, 0, 20 RPMs, clockwise. And then the front is going counterclockwise. Rotate to angle, 0, 20 RPMs, counterclockwise rotation. Boink. There we go. So we have an on and an off function now. So there's them zeroed out. All right. When I hit forward, they go. Okay. How wonderful is that? Okay. Now we got to get our backward function. So you can see the event block activating here in the back. If you watch, you'll see the color change. Let me take off my labels. So that's forward. Figured out. All right. No, there's still no thrust being applied, but we'll play with that. Let's move on to backward. Okay, since that's also on the same one. So event controller for backward, right? We're going to do the same thing, a thrust of 2% on the backward ion. We're going to select our actions. We don't have timer blocks for them, so we've got to do that. Let's go add some timers.
Critical.
We are. But that'll be on and an off. I think those activate too. Oh, the timer, the lights on the timer blocks don't change? Bummer. That would have been cool to see. It's fine though. Okay, back to it. So our timers, let's name them timer block. We're gonna say BW on and timer block BW off. Get rid of this part. Okay, that's all cleaned up. So backward on, the thrusters are gonna go the other direction. So now it's gonna spin clockwise to positive 90. So let's try that. Set rotation, rotate to angle 90 with a clockwise rotation, 20 RPM, and then the right one as well. Rotate to angle. I think it's negative 90. 20 RPM clockwise. Let's see if that works. I think that's right. There's forward. You release. They go back. And then backward. Oh yeah, we didn't set up our event controller. So our event controller for... Oh, we're gonna rename him to match. Draws 2%. We didn't set up our actions. On. Trigger now. And our cancel action is off. Okay. Moment of truth. Oh, they're going the wrong way, boy. Okay. They're totally wrong. Okay, we've got some issues here we've got to work out. So this guy needs to rotate. Let's go our forward action. That did not work. Forward action is still working. The way it's turning clockwise on this side. And counterclock, so it's going counterclockwise on the right side. Oh my gosh. This is where it gets mind-boggling, right? So counterclockwise. So the right side is going to rotate. Wait a second. Let's remind ourselves. Hold on. Oh, I can't hold it and look. I was gonna look at the rotation angle. Let me just see. -90. We're going negative on the right side. And we're going positive. So I had it backwards. So we're going negative on the right side. But we want counterclockwise rotation, not clockwise. -90, 20 RPMs, counterclockwise rotation. And then on that guy, he's +90. But that should make sense. That should work though. Let's see if this one's fixed. Yeah. Oh no, going back around, you see that it got really goofy. Oh, if you let go. Okay. See, if I let go, it's just going the direction I'm saying. The disablement of the thruster. So on the off functions, the rotation, like we want them to rotate to 0. We still want it to rotate to 0, but we want it to be the path of least resistance. Okay, so let's make it 20, and then we're going to say auto. And the same with this one. Where is that? Rotate. Rotation. Rotate to angle 0, 20 RPM, and automatic. That should take the path of least resistance to get there. We also have to do that on the backward off. So on backward off, we're going to say both of these again. Set rotation to 0, 20 RPM, auto direction. Same with this guy. And that should choose the right directions when it's backing off of the key press. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. So now you can see right down here, like you can see the event controllers lighten up light blue. That's forward, that's reverse. Okay. Now, I think we don't want it to, if we had them go all the way 90 degrees, right? If we have them go all the way 90 degrees, we're going to fall out of the sky. So we're going to want to change that at some point. The other thing is we need a general thrust control block that's controlling how much thrust is happening, okay? So, like when I'm hitting go forward, we want to increase thrust, and then when I let go, we want to decrease thrust. So we're going to put an event controller back here that's just going to be our basically our gas pedal. Again, we're not designing a ship, we're just designing the controls for it, and then we're figuring out the science behind it. Okay, so how do we do this? Let's go into that event controller block. We're going to call him... We're just going to call him thrust. Ooh, wait a second. We've got to think about this. Okay. I think I have a general way to do this, all right? If this might be too general. If it's greater than or equal to 2. Okay. On any of the thrusters, can we get it? Can we generalize it that much? I don't know that we can. We need to group our thrusters too, by the way. Let's do that real quick. What are we gonna call this? VTOL? Wrist. Alright, back to our event controller for thrust. Our action will be on the group thrusters to say, like, is it going to do it multiple? If I do increase, is it just going to keep increasing? Or is it just going to do it the once? We got to figure that out. Let's just hit the gas and see what happens here. It did not. I'm hitting it multiple times. I really don't want to blow up this grid. Hold on. I know how we can tell. If we put our thrust down here and we just say like that. You see? It doesn't keep increasing it over and over and over again. What we could do... It's not going to be reliable. Man, I really wish it was smoother. We'll have to figure out a way to make it smoother than this. Right now, it's got to be 100 or nothing. So, the event controller thrust on that action, we'd make it 100 or nothing. We'd basically be going in here and saying, okay, set this guy to 100. And then set this guy to, ooh, if you make it 0, you're going to fall out of the sky. This is where we got to figure out a hover function. So we're going to have to do that. But for right now, we're going to have it set to 0. But obviously, if they turn off, no, you know what? You'll automatically hover, right? It'll automatically hover. That did not work. He's still going. Did I not do that right? Event controller thrust. Select my actions. Not increase. Oh, dude, did I set it on the wrong one? Uh-oh. I think I set it on the wrong one. We want to set to 100. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Wait. VTOL thrust. 0. So that... Oh my gosh! We gotta turn the brakes back on the rotors. Before we break something. Yeah. All the way. All the way up on those. They still... That's... Gosh, that's gonna cause a problem. Braking thrust is all the way up. We might have to increase the regular torque too. I think that's where we're gonna run into the red. No, maybe not. All right, we're gonna be fighting the limits here. We're gonna turn them all the way up just to see. Yeah, there we go. It's able to hold it a little bit better like that. If we're starting a fire over here. Okay, well, we've got thrusters, kind of. They're very wobbly. Pay no attention to that, okay. Oh my gosh! Whoops. We are currently going all over the place. I'm not touching anything. We're just along for the ride. How can I save this? How can I save my grid here? Let's think about this.
Critical.
Hold on. I'm gonna turn it off, and then we are going to copy it and paste it and hopefully catch it. Let's see how can I do this? Oh my gosh. We disconnected. If I turn it off, when I get back out, okay.
Fuel critical.
I'll be still going the same speed. I'll still be going the same speed as the ship when I get back out. Alright, here we go. What's going on? Oh no. There we go.
Fuel critical.
Alright. We copied it. I think we're falling back to Earth. Alright, I'm so sorry for anybody who's watching. Oh boy. It's flailing about. I really hope I hope my little SnowRunner mobile isn't right directly underneath of where we're going. I know it's over there. We've gone off course quite a bit. This is nice. We are quite a ways up. Do I not have... Why do I not have altitude on? That's weird. I guess because I'm just in my suit? Well, we'll get our first crash test, you know, right now. That'll be good. Here it comes. Ooh. Alright, now, here's the thing. So, Space Engineers has this problem where grids with speed, when you copy them, they keep their speed. This might not work, okay? But we've got to try it. My gosh, thank you. Yeah, we basically launched a rocket, and it was trying to figure itself out. there's a lot of stuff that goes into these. Now that we've seen it, you know, there's some things I clearly did not think about that we have to think about. We have to think about the fact that the thrusters are going to want to do their own thing, basically, to keep the ship in the air, right? Which means the thrusters are always going to be, even the ions are always going to be greater than 2%, because they're going to go up because they're trying to balance the ship out. So we need to take that into account. So what we should make the threshold on the hold on. Of course not. Okay, how hard can it be? Really? The landing gear, or the magnetic plate, breaks as soon as I well, we've got to get one to set somewhere. I guess I could have done it over there, but come on. Get one to set down. Please, pretty please. Please be gentle to it. Come on. What the heck is up with that anyway? Why is it like gapped out like that? It's weird. But it'll set on the voxels. Whatever. Okay. Whatever. YouTube so lame, no mushroom cloud. I know, right? Hold on. Get rid of these. Oh, not you. Let's get rid of you. And you. And you. Let me try one more time. Let's copy this. Let's paste him. Please, 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 please. Okay, that's good enough. Let's save real quick, shall we? Before we do something stupid again. A whole lot of things went wrong there, and I'm not really sure where to start with that. The ions are gonna always want to go to 100%.
Fuel critical.
It's like basically, why is the override set? The override, ooh, that is a problem. We have a manual override. Oh, it's just because the power's on, right? Power's off. Oh no, they're actually set. We've got block problems. Let's go figure out where I goofed that. Event controller thrust. YouTube's emojis are lacking? That's not good. We have the override set in the right one, but I thought we goofed and set it somewhere else. Yep, in the forward. Totally set it wrong here. Let's remove this. Wait. Event controller for forward. If it detects forward on the ion thruster, no, that is right. That's just the rotation. That's just our rotation doing its thing. So that's right. And none of the, oh, the backwards. But again, we didn't set, let's check the timers. And just make sure we didn't set thrust overrides in there. None there. And no. None there. So we shouldn't have thrust overrides right now, but we do. So let's just clear the thrusters out. Okay. They're either supposed to be 100% or nothing. What I'm thinking happened here is that when we turn this back on, you'll see the thrusters are gonna, that override is gonna come right back. Oh no, it didn't. Okay, well that's good. They come back if I hit forward, if I hit left or right. Oh my gosh, that is so wobbly, dude. Can we change those rotors to be put the displacement at 0 and just see if that changes anything? Just as wobbly as it was before, isn't it? That's better. Let's do the same over here. There we go. Tighten them up. Oh. This thing. This is a disaster waiting to happen. The hinges, everything, everything about this is bad idea. Like seriously, a bad idea. Wow. Look at this one's flopping around. Oh my goodness. Okay. It was a really bad idea that we're working on here. Alright, those are working right, but the problem is as soon as we have, let's save it real quick. As soon as we unpark, it's gonna launch again because the ion thrusters are going to more than 2%. They're going to a lot. So what we need to do is our up ion thruster, we need to be able to tell how much that's going to on its own. So let's just, we for science, okay, we have to kind of fail again so we can see. So we're going to put that on the bar and we're going to have the override just here, just so we can see what it goes to. Then we're going to save it and we'll reload after we see it. So. Oh, it doesn't show us. Clang is near. Dude, Clang is very near. That went really badly. It's not showing us what it's going to. So I think we have to go, I think we're just going to have to go out and say, hey, if it's like 98% or higher, then fire the thruster. Okay. All right, everything's happy. This is getting, like, it's getting ridiculous. Event controller for thrust. So let's change that to say, hey, if threshold is 98, we'll do 98. 98% or greater, then turn the thrusters on. Let's see what happens. Let's save it. Perfect. It didn't do anything because the ion thrusters are, you know, not kicking. So if I were to hit forward right now, it's going to launch the thrusters forward. We don't have a gyro on this, do we?
Fuel critical.
Let's put it, you know what? Let me reload. Okay. We're close. We're close to something. I'm not sure what it really is, but we've got something kind of working. Oh no. I wanted to do that different, and it's still not, even though I've got the thruster kicking, you see it's still not turning our thrusters on. Why would that be? The rotation is happening. Oh, the rotation is happening because it's still set to 2%. Gosh, we could really get ourselves into trouble here. Let's try like 70. Okay, let's try 60. No. Oh. The parking wasn't released. No, it's still not. Oh gosh, that one's clanging out. Oh boy. Yeah, let's reload. Maybe it's, gosh, I don't know. I think that has to do with the atmosphere. Like it won't, I think the thrust percentage won't ever be higher than X because of the atmosphere. Like even though we're going out and saying, hey, we want 100% of the thrust right now, I think the game goes out and says, well, no, you're only going to get 10. So let's figure out what that number is before we get going. So let's try it at 10. 10 works. We gotta go as high as we can. Let's go to 30. 30 does not work. How about 20? 20 works. 25? Do I hear 25 going once? Thrust. $25 does not work. Oh, yep, yeah, there you go. So, actually. Alright, now we know. Like, we gotta reload. I dropped it on the ground on accident. I'm kind of tired. I'm making silly mistakes. Clang is looking at us. Like a sunshine in a cloud. Gosh, these thrusters are so possessed. It's because we have the torque up so high. Oh my god, I did it again. Shut up. I don't want to hear it, chat. Wrong key, my bad. I don't understand why loading is taking so long though. Let's just see if we can get away with some lower rotor settings, because that's really scary. Let's try like take a 0 off of these. That one, oh no. That one in particular over there on the left is seems to have some demons. That did not make it better. Oh, now they both have demons. He's merciless but loving. He loves to see. Yes, it's waiting for us. It really is. I'm not gonna lie. All right, 25 didn't work. Let's try 22.5. Nope. Okay, how about 21? I bet it's locked to 20, if I had to guess. Where are you, thrust controller? 21. 21 works. So here's the thing about that. As soon as I hit the parking, it's just gonna fire off again because those thrusters are wanting to go as much as they can. See, here we go. So what do we do here? What do we do about that? You can't, like, let's just think about this real quick. You can't turn the thrusters off because you will lose the ability to hover in the air, right? The thrusters have to stay on and they have to be able to support the up and down. Okay? Let's take a look at Event Controller and just see what sort of settings. Or you know what? We need it. Let's just slap one on so we don't mess one up. I'm just gonna. Wow. Okay, it's okay. It's okay, little thingies. This contraption here is making me nervous. The whole rotor and a hinge. A little scary. Alright, so our event controller, we're just gonna call it test, so we know it's that. If the altitude, dude, you can't do like a, oh, it's going up or it's going down. The angle change, you can't change. See, we can only trigger if it's like at a certain altitude, right? Like that. It doesn't work for me. Because that's a static number, that's not going to get us anything. Not going to get us anything. Grid speed, no. Wow. How's that off the screen? Thrust is all the way off the screen. Is there something below thrust that I can't see? Whatever. Here, I'm gonna actually drag it up this way. There we go. Now we can see the whole list. There's nothing in there that's gonna help us with this problem. So let's think about how we have that happening. In this event controller, we're saying, hey, thrust percentage is based on what the thrusters are doing over here. Can we add more logic to this? Gosh. Well, it can check for the event controller. Let's go back to our test one. It can check for a block. No, it can only check for on and off. So our thrust block. Thrust is active. It turns our thrusters on. Any direction. Okay. Let's just do the one. We're just going to do the up. Okay? Let's remove all of these. Except for up. And let's see what happens. Again, we'll humor ourselves. Better. I know it looks not good, but it's better. That gets us something. Okay. We might need one of those thrust control blocks for all of the individual directions. But let's figure this out. So the reason why that tried to work was because once we started moving up, the ion thrusters turned off. Like they went back down below the 20%. And so then these guys turned off. So it'll be like a balancing act. We do need a gyro on this thing, okay? Just so we can see. Since they are subgrid, like, we're going to have to do something about that to control for that, but we don't have it right now. So I got to try and manually do it. But if we were to do this, and I hope I saved it before we did that. I did. Let's save it again, and let's just try riding this out with a gyro. Let's see what happens, okay? We're kind of... Oh boy, I can't see. I should have been inside of it. I want to make this work so bad, and I want to do it on my own. Okay, let's go to the cockpit view. Oh boy. I have no control of rotation? How can that be? Oh, we're out of control. Do I need more gyros than just one? We're riding out a loop of death. So, you see, because the thrusters are firing, it's trying to rotate them. We've got some work. I'm trying to get this thing to rotate and it's not. There we go. If I just hold forward, maybe that'll help. Wait, do I not have a gyro on this? Did I not put a gyro on this thing? Hold on. I thought I did. I do. I have a gyro on it. Not very strong, apparently. Yeah, he did say small thrusters for the balance, but, so, let's just figure out, we've got some rotation issues. That's kind of, and I can't, see, like, the gyro, I can't rotate it back straight, for whatever reason. But we got our own problems to figure out here. Let's go ahead and let me just see if adding another gyro fixes it or if we're just permanently busted. Really weird. Although that was the farthest we've gotten. We still have no lateral control. The only thing that we have is forward and back. And it thinks, and it's trying to do a hover, but it's not really working that well. You know what? If the thrust backwards, or if the thrust down happens, we should have it cut the thrusters off. Let's do this work so we can get a little bit more control. Okay, so if the thruster down fires, then we don't have a timer for down yet, do we? We don't. We don't, but that's fine. Let's not. We'll worry about that in a minute. Let's put another gyro on it.
Critical.
Maybe 2. It felt really hard to control. Okay. Let's just see if that'll do it. Dave wants. Good luck. Okay. I still don't have any yaw. Oh my gosh. I should have been in first person until I got used to it. I don't have, well, I didn't yaw. I don't have, that's not pitch, that's roll. I had no roll. I'm not sure if that's because of the thrusters are on the, whatchamacallits, they're on the subgrid. That might be the next thing we try. Let's just see if it'll go up. Yeah, there's no, I can't rotate back out of it. Like if I turn fast enough I can. But it constantly wants to go up. So it needs a little bit of work there. Oh, it's very shaky. Let's get it just going forward. So I'm actually holding forward now. When I let off. I don't know. What about gyros? If we put the gyros on the rotors or the thrusters. Good Lord. Yeah, an Osprey would be the same concept, you're right. And the ones that I've all seen are like, they're all scripted, which is fine. I'm fine with scripts. I just want to see if it's possible to do this without it, right? Completely without it. That's what we're trying to go for here. I think it is. You know. All right, I'm gonna go in cockpit view. It won't. See, it won't rotate out of that. Once it gets into that drift, it won't rotate out of it. So I think what we would have to do would be, man, it is just freaking out. We can make this, I can make this work. I think I can make this work somehow. Look at it. It's trying to figure itself out. It's trying to get to a point where it's standing still, but it can't. And I think the reason why it can't is because we haven't done any of the roll adjustment of the actual on the hinges, right? I think once we do that, maybe it'll start working itself out. It's very, very jerky. I think if we were to do a design like this, I think we would do the two front are hinge only, and then you have rear as rotor only. So the rear ones the rear thrusters would be your forward and back, you know, your thrust forward and back, and then the ones on the sides would at the front would be it would control your left and right and your balance. Let's add the hinges, and then surely someone's designed this. Don't call me surely. Let's get a joke real quick, okay? Let's see if Copilot knows any jokes, and any good new jokes.
Hey, Chad.
Yo, what's up?
Cool. How's...
What?
Just saying, hey, Chad.
What? Hey, tell me a good joke. Not a terrible one.
All right, how about this? Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field.
You told us that one already. Tell us something new.
All right, fresh one coming up. Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have the guts. What do you think?
Oh, that's bad. That's so bad I'm leaving. Bye.
All right, Chad. Take care.
Okay. They don't have the guts.
Fuel critical.
Alright, we're gonna do the hinges now. So left and right. Think about this. Event controller left. If the left thruster fires, so thrust. '21 on the left. Yeah. That's actually a good point. You have a very good point, sir. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can get that. See if we can get a joke. Hey, give me an adult joke. Are you listening? Oh, now she's not talking to us. Hi. Hello? Oh, it's totally broke. I don't know why it does this. Sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes it won't
Hey,
kick in.
Chad.
Hey!
What's up?
We want a joke that's not for 5-year-olds.
All right, here goes. Why was the stadium so cool? It's because it was filled with fans.
I mean like an adult joke. You know any good adult jokes?
Sure, here's one with a bit more subtlety. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
No, I know all these. These are bad jokes, man. You gotta get some new material. Hey, bye!
Later, Chad.
Oh, shoot. There's too many red tapes in Copilot. He's got the corporate overlords watching what that thing will say. All right. Left event controller. When left ion thruster fires at 21%, we are going to do. Well, we don't have hinges, timers.
Fuel critical.
Or do we need them? Yeah, we need them. We got to figure out. I want to have them organized here just so I can see which one's which. So let's turn off the left controller, see which one it is. It's the third one back.
Fuel critical.
It is pretty generic, you're right. 1, 2, 3, this one right here. We need a timer block. 2 timers. Where are they? Right there. Not that one. Get the pretty side. 1, 2. There we go. We got 2 timer blocks. Let's go look at them. We're gonna call this one L on and L off. Off. I was about to spell out L like EL, like Mexican word of the, Espanol word of the. L on, L offo. Okay. Turn these down to 0. What are we doing for this? No, I did something wrong here. We're on the on block. So hinge for the left. Did we specify rotation limits on these? I don't think we did. 60 degrees. What's that look like? That looks scary. Let's set it to 45. Left hinge. All right. And let's set this one to 45. Let's see what that looks like. That's still pretty wild. It seems like a lot, doesn't it? That seems like not 45. Where is that hinge at? It's 45. Could it be 40? I really didn't change it either, did it? Okay, we'll make him 45. Trust that it's gonna work. This guy's 45 already. Yeah, he's 45 already too. Okay. All right, so those are, the limits are set. So on the event controller left, let's select our actions for timer block L on, trigger now, timer block L off, trigger now. Let's go to our timer blocks. We still got to configure them. So that's going to make, let's take a look and see what happens with our angle. I don't remember if it's positive or not. On the hinge, the angle goes up. Set the angle to 45. Okay. Done. That's what we wanted to do. Set the angle to 45 and then set it back to 0. And it's rotating. Which side do you look at it from? No. It's not going to ask us that, right? Maybe. No, no, it's not going to ask us that. It's a hinge. It can't rotate 2 different directions. Like, it can't go all the way around, is what I'm saying. Hinge left. Set. Do they have a set? No, they have set limit. Rotate to angle. 45. 20 RPM. Done. Okay. And then off. Hinge left. Where's the angle? What the heck is it? Rotate to angle. 0. 20. Oh, there we go. Okay. Right. So that's going to control that. Left. Wait a second. That would make me go right. If I'm in this and I hit left, it totally shut up, chat. If I'm hitting left, that's gonna send me to the right. for sure. So, whoops. One moment while we fix this. We're gonna call this event controller right. And we're gonna call this one left. And then oh, that still doesn't change it though. We've got to go in here and we've just got to change this to be this thruster. Wait. I should have... No. Let me put the name back. That's all we needed to change. Was that. And then... No. No, we had it right. Okay, hold on. Right thruster. We fixed it, but we got to change all the block names. Let's just change them to R. Timer block ARG. Right, and then the event controller is the right. There we go. So we just did the right function. Not a problem. Now we got to do the left function. So the left function is going to be thrust percentage 21 on the right thruster. Wait, yeah, on the right thruster. We got to add 2 more timer blocks. Let's figure out where this event controller left is. Turn that off real quick. Oh, I just locked onto my own grid. My bad. Farthest one back. Wait. Event controller left. Farthest one back. We got our thruster in there. I'm so confused. We're going right. That's activating that one. Okay. I'm gonna trust it. I did it right. I'm getting so tired. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's real life. Okay. Left controller. That's that one. That's the functions we're gonna make for now. Get them right here. L off. Wait. Did I change all? Yeah, I did. I changed. Let's go L on and L off. I changed the other ones to be right? Did I do that already? Chat. I hear your crap. Alright, so that's going to be our right hinge. Setting the angle to 45. 20 RPMs. And then turning it back to 0. Right hinge. Setting angle to 0. 20 RPMs. Okay. Okay. Right works. Left is not working. It's firing here. Did I not do something right? Well, wait, so I want to go left. It's not working. I want to go right. Right's all working. And I'm hitting the wrong button. Right controller. Left is not activating. Is that not the left controller way back there? Yeah, it's this one. Thrust is equal or greater than 21%. We did 21% on this one, right? Yeah. Oh. Shut up, chat. What? I just chose left. Okay. Right? Why is that left thruster not firing? No override. Right thrust fire. Wait, the right thrust fires. It is firing. What did I do wrong? Alright, let's look at the direction on the hinge because it's probably broken. There's 45. 45 is positive. There's 0. What am I going through here right now? Oh my gosh. Control event controller to go to the left. Shut up, chat. Hear your crap. Left on. Left off. Alright, that's the missing piece. There's our right. There's our left. Woo! Woohoo! Woohoo! It works. It gets really weird when you try and do it this way. Look at this. Like, you can go forward. And you can go to the right. You can go to the left. You can get a little bit of... Yeah. Getting a little too advanced now. Let's see if that does anything for control at all, which I doubt, but... Oh, oh Lord. Oh. Oh boy, it's really shaky. This is so bad. It's cooking. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. It's trying to kill itself. Like, just hit myself with a hammer. Like, end it now. Dude. I think it's very controllable now though. It still doesn't rotate with the gyro. But that's fine. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's trying to punch itself so bad. And look at the thruster can turn so far on that hinge that it could melt the body, like, over time. Yep, there it goes. It totally melted off the landing gear. See, it could cook itself. There's some design flaws here. You know, it's surprisingly flyable just by the gyroscope. But going forward is not one of those things. Now I'm pushing forward right now, and it's definitely going forward. Let's see if it'll stop before we crash into all this stuff down here. Let off. Oh no, it's not gonna work. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Yeah. If I think what I'll do, let's try one thing left for the night. I gotta get to sleep, but let's just try sending it off on its own and just see what it looks like from outside of... Let's just see what it looks like when it's trying to control itself. Where's the landing gear? Magnetic plate. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. See, it's trying, but it goes into this rotating state where it can't figure out how to get itself out of that rotation. Yeah. Hey, were you here for the Azov, boss? Did you get to see the truck? I'm gonna run through and just show you the changes on the truck. Before we go. It's not. I didn't get a whole lot of time to do stuff. I did make a couple of changes to the front. I don't know. I think I think it looks good. It needs some more work, like on the sides. Like it needs a little bit more detail.
Fuel.
It's sitting right over here. So, first of all, we'll show off the front end, what I've done here. Let me get rid of the HUD. I kind of gave it a little bit of like a wedge look on the front just to break it up. I was here for the building. I sent you a pic on Discord. I'm not sure about the solid final result. Yeah. So I haven't done any trailer yet. I did add quite a bit. We have these windows that you can see through now, so you cannot run over. It's like a pedestrian safety type of thing, you know, like if I'm standing here, I can't get run over because, well, I probably could, but at least a person would see, you know, see me getting run over. And then we changed the steps out to these, which I think are, like, they look okay. They stick out a little ways, but functionally, they work way better. Like, I'd say 99% of the time they work right. Okay, so interior is not done yet. The cryo can go because we have airtight. We have an airtight world here inside. You can see we got green lights. We open up a door, they're not. So we're airtight in here. So the cryos will probably go and get replaced with like a beds. And then some of this stuff is going to get stowed away. Survival kit's going to stay there, and so it can be accessible from outside. And you can see, oh, I boarded it up right now. I'll get that open back up. I was messing with some blocks to see how I could make it look pretty. So on this one, it's not there. Underneath, so we did the rails, you know, all the way from front to back. And then I just, you know, put some colored bits in it, and I added some more supports just so it has a couple of more places to break before the wheels fall off. It's got batteries. It's got more batteries. It has an exhaust pipe, which I'm probably going to remove because it's terrible. The smoke is kind of funky. And then it just has 2 cargo containers right now because besides supporting a trailer, I want it to be able to support like a drone. Like space engineers, you know, how can we actually use the thing? If I make a mining drone that sits here on this small connector, I think that'd be pretty cool. So I've got to do some prettying up of the back. And then the most fancy part of this right now is this fueling system. Okay? And this is, so there's no scripts on this. I didn't do any scripts for this or anything. When we get in it, let's pull up the HUD. We're going to unlock it. I'll put on the camera for it and retract it. Oh wait, I didn't unlock it. There we go. So how this works, let me show you how easy it is to get this lined up. Okay? So we're going to back off this thing. I'll go drive around just so you can see it's not a fluke. Alright. It drives pretty nice. It feels a little bit tippy. And I did make it steer just like the Azov. You can see the front 2 axles turn, and then the rear 2 turn, or the rear 1 turns, and that's how the Azov 7 is in SnowRunner. So I went for, you know, for it. It's the Azov is more of like an inspiration than anything. Like it definitely doesn't look like an Azov 7. So you can see I have this holographic I have this holographic projector up here set. So when the blocks are in line, okay, if I'm close enough to these blocks here on the left, it's going to let me know that, hey, the fueling connector can hit that side, okay? So you see, so that's how I know I'm close enough. Okay, let me reset my view. That's how I know I'm close enough. And then I just go to the fuel camera. And all I gotta do is pull forward and park and brake when I get there. Put the parking brakes on. Check this out. Watch this. Extend out our little piston. Boom. We're all ready to fuel. Oh. Dang it. Wait, are we not? Hold on. I wasn't paying attention. I went back to the camera. Yeah, it no longer says we were okay to align because we were not straight. Here I was trying to show how simple this was. Hang on, let me try again. So you roll up, okay? As long as that says okay to align, you know you're close enough, all right? And it's just a matter of stopping, extending that piston, and locking it in place. That's pretty much it.
Fuel
It's
critical.
it's pretty good. It's high tech fancy. So how it works, we have a sensor just right on top of the end of the piston right here. And it's just looking to be a specific distance. Okay, I think it's like 2 and some change meters out of the side. As long as these blocks, you know, and it has to be these blocks. It can't be like these ones down here on the floor. Okay, because you'll see, like if we were to pull up, if there were no blocks here, let's put it that way. If there were no blocks here, it wouldn't say anything. Let me show you that. I delete this. Is it going to clang out? Okay. There. So the way it's looking is it's looking like from the connector, it's looking 20 meters this way and 20 meters this way just to see if there's any blocks that are on the same level as it. Okay. And if there are, and it's close, then it'll pop up and say, hey, look, you're okay to align. But if there aren't, then it won't. So, like right now, if we back up, you'll see it pops up okay to align because it sees the grid because we're going down a hill. I should probably lower the distance a little bit just so it doesn't pop like that. Maybe I should do that. That might be a good that would be a good investment if I made it maybe like 10 meters instead. And on the right, oh, the right's low enough. Let's go 7.5. That's good. And then it won't go. So as long as, let's just say, as long as a block, all right, let's put a connector block back in here. Small inset connector. Oh, you gotta make it the fancy color. There you go. As long as that's within 7.5 meters, as long as it's within 21 feet, right? I'm gonna make it. Oh, we park on a slope. The ultimate challenge. Can I make it up to the driver's side? Yeah, there we go. Gotta play a game of Mario Brothers, but it works. So you should see it'll pop. Or not. There it is. So it knows that that block is there 20 feet ahead. There it is. Does it still say it's okay to align? It does. So at that point, send that piston. Boink. That's it.
Fuel critical.
Super easy fueling system. Love it. I spent a couple of hours just trying to get this all perfect. So I'm really happy about that part. The other thing underneath, I don't think I can get to it. So the backbone is all conveyors all along. Okay, it's all conveyors in there. So that's why it's all set up for a drone type of system. And then if we're gonna make a trailer, we can use an advanced rotor and it'll work through this. Only with small items though. Yeah, and then the 2 cargo containers, I gotta figure out how to dress those up so it looks nice. Other than that, I haven't really made any changes. I don't like the color scheme. I'm gonna change the color. I thought green would look nice with it. I'm not a fan. I do like my funky grill, and I do like that I went back and I redesigned the windows. So you'll see here, instead of, I used to have this angled slope on the window, I got rid of it because this way you can see more when you look out the side. You can actually see where you're going, like if you had to. And the same with the down direction, you can see, like I can see where the edge of the platform is, right? So like, if I were to drive forward, I can see, I gotta stop right about here.
Fuel critical.
Yeah. See? It works out pretty well. So, yeah. Desert Digi-Camo for that. Okay. Alright, I could see that. I gotta fix out my survival kit, make that seeable, viewable again. And then we got to do some sort of pattern design on the side to kind of break up all the flat. The flat is really killing the look of it. Same kind of goes with here. Like I might break up the roof a little bit. But overall, I think that's a good design. And then the fenders. So I did put fender liners in here. You can see just to cover up the emptiness a little bit. So it has these aren't full armor blocks. These are just the panels, right? The light panels. Oh, no, yeah, no, they're the light panels. I thought I used the light panels. But that's just to cover up a little bit of the inside. And that didn't take a whole lot of work, but I don't know, I think it adds a little bit more to it, you know, just covering all that stuff up. And then, you know, I still put in the supports so you can kind of see, give it a little bit more detail and stuff. So I wish, you know, the only way that you can really see, you know, like these rails, you know, and the detail on them is from the top or the bottom. Like from the side, it's just kind of like, eh. It almost makes me like, I should have turned them sideways. But I feel like the right direction was to go top bottom. Like in terms of, oh, this is how it functions, you know, like I think this direction makes more sense, but it would have looked better having them visible on the side. You see what I'm saying? Like you know, but functionally, when you're talking about functionally, like, okay, well, what do you do when you get to a sloped piece? Well, now all of a sudden it's going to look like this. You see? So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I guess that's okay too. I'm just saying. I think I did okay. Looks really good. I appreciate it. Anyway, it's not done. We still gotta make, we're gonna make some attachments for it. Like we're gonna make a trailer and we're gonna make a drone, maybe like a mining drone or something that can just fit right here on the back. And that's why it has so many batteries on it. So it has a ton of batteries on it. That way we can kind of charge other stuff and be out and about. The solar panels aren't really keeping it alive. Like if we were to just get in this thing, close it up, let's get that piston back in there so it's
Fuel critical.
if we're sitting in the cryo, like Where's the battery level? It's charging right now. So we're like, we have a surplus of energy, but I don't think it's much. You can see the input is 6 kilowatts on one small battery. Oh, these guys are in... Wow, that shouldn't be like that. These guys shouldn't be in recharge mode. These guys should all be in auto mode. Were we just running off of... Let me make sure that they're all in auto mode. I didn't realize... Yeah, it's keeping up, but not by much. I don't know. You can see we're drawing 25.8 and we're putting 29.3 back in. We're barely. Those solar panels, I don't have them hidden, do I? Maybe I do. I didn't think I... Yeah, I didn't hide them yet. They're only getting 36 each. So 70... We're at like 72 kilowatts, 73 kilowatts of juice just sitting here. Not doing anything. So it's... No, it's not really like sustainable, I don't think, for like a long term. As soon as it goes to night, you know, that's actually what I should show you, is as soon as it goes to night, all of a sudden now we're in a situation where you got 2 days of battery just sitting here, staying alive in your little cryo chamber. That's not
Fuel.
not that good. Depending on how long. Yeah. Gonna have to go nuclear. I know. We're gonna have to add like a reactor. Or I was thinking, you know, since we have an oxygen system, maybe we just put engines in for realism. You know, make it look kind of cool, right? The hydrogen engine. I don't know. I gotta think about it. But like, if you were to put, you know, man, I wish we had it up on stands. Might have to put it up on stands to do it now, or take it out to space. But if we turn the engines, you know, kind of upside down, just so you can see them from underneath, and put them, you know, up in there, I think that would look pretty cool. Like if they were like just in there, something like that. I guess I could have put 2 in there. Gosh, I wish I could get in there. Let me show you how to... We'll secretly do this real quick. Oh, hold on. Turn on mirror mode. Is mirror mode on? Mirror mode is on. Okay. We got square pistons now. I totally forgot about those. Where is it? That guy. All right. Let's go try and destroy ourselves with this thing. Where's our square pistons?
Fuel critical.
Don't tell me it's going to be too short. Seriously? All right, we'll do them down here. There's going to be a piston sitting over here. Actually, it didn't mirror. We'll do them right off of here. There we go. That'll do it. Go back in.
Fuel critical.
There we go. That'll work. As long as these will hold while I'm underneath of it. Should put a little jack stand in, probably. It's pro safety tips. So if we were to put the engines in, you know, say something like this, and you had them down there, I think it would add something to it, you know. I don't know, I think that's kind of cool. And then, you know, when you do have hydrogen in there and it's running, you know, I think they have like the moving parts, right? I think it adds some, it just looks cool. Anyway, I don't know. It would look better on a truck than a reactor, I think. I'm just saying. So I don't really want to have them all the way at the front though, right? Like we'd have to move around some stuff to try and get all that stuff into the middle. Like it's so front heavy right now. It's really front heavy, and I started trying to just throw as much as I could into the middle. I haven't put a whole lot of stuff into the back yet, but yeah, I think it's good progress. That's where I've ended up with it right now. I'm gonna go back and change some of these supports. Like this one kind of looks like it has a curve, and like I don't think a bracket like that would ever work. So I think I'm gonna change this one just a little bit to not look so. Oh, it's angled right here. Like this would be a weak point, right? Like it should just be a straight piece, you know, whoosh right down. So I'm gonna change that a little bit. The reason why it's like that is because if I was to do the if I were to do the 45, the normal angle piece, it would end up on the battery instead of on the frame. And if I were to go down here, then it would be way out here on this block, on this next one. So to avoid that, I did this. But I don't think that that's the right answer. So, anyway, that's what I got done. Yep. Pretty cool jack stands. We should build a set in. That's what we should do. Have a set of jack stands built in. We'd mount them up right in the frame somewhere, you know, put them up in here somewhere. And then you could lift up the front and the rear, like we'd do some in the back. That'd be cool. Come on. I think that'd be neat. And we'll see. We'll see about it. You can see it's still barely lifted it off the ground. Like, I can get under here, sure. But, not by much. So, this thing is a beast. Right there in the inside corner, yeah. I think it would look cool. Well, I mean, it would... You wouldn't see it, but it would look cool when you blow up a wheel and you have to hit the add wheel button and it actually works. Because you can lift it off the ground. Then it would be cool. Yeah. Oh, come on. I'm just going to fly up to it. Let's go drive it off the road real quick. Let's see if we can take it off this little cliff thingy. I'm not sitting in the seat. Oh, you better close the door too. There we go. Alright, here we go. We're gonna ramp it. Here it comes. It does have a gyroscope. But that's its full turning potential right now. FYI. Here's the other ones. You can kind of see where we came from, where we progressed. And we ended up with this guy right here that we're driving around in. It's a good driving truck. It's not bad. And it goes fast. It needs better headlights. 45 meters a second, though. Too bad. Let's see if it... Let's test the off-road capabilities. Let's get out here to a mountain. We got some sticks in the way. Oh, we got some debris. Try and drive over to these mountains. We should crank up the power so we see how fast we can... No. 45 meters a second sounds like 90 mile an hour off-road, right? Something like that. I think that's pretty decent. Maybe not. Maybe it's not high enough. Tell me what you think. Speed limit is 180k. 180k is about 90, right? Somewhere around there. $200. Now it's going 200. Still feels pretty stable, but we're on a flat thing. Yeah, we definitely need an ore detector. You're right about that. We definitely need an ore detector. Let me set the time back. Woohoo! That's bright. So we still gotta put all the utilities and stuff like that in it. Let's just test its capability. I haven't done any tweaking of the suspension or anything like that, so. Should save this. I think I did. Pretty sure I did. Got me second guessing myself here. Can we just go right up the side of this mountain? We got to get the SnowRunner type angle going here. Oh boy, this looks interesting. Ooh, it's not gonna make it over this stuff. No way. Oh, we bottomed out a little bit. Okay, alright. It's getting beat up a little bit. Uh-oh. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, come on, you little stinker. Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't like the really busted parts. We could turn up the traction on the wheels. It's about to tip over, though. Come on, make it. Oh, we got some parts falling off. That's not good. True Azov 7. Yeah, you're right. It does bottom out quite a bit. Yeah, it's good. A fair point. I still like it. I mean, in SnowRunner, I still like it. Hold on, let's turn up the friction. This is probably a really bad idea. Nope, it still won't do it. Oh my gosh, we're actually stuck. We're high centered on the frame. We broke a headlight. Okay, so not a very good not a very good outing for us. I can't zoom out for some odd reason. I don't know why. It won't let me zoom back out. Why won't it let me zoom out? There it goes. It's not having it. What about if I set the power up? I think that's just going to cause me a lot of chaos, right? Yeah. It's wedged on this rock. Come on. What if I put more suspension travel on it? That is all the way. Yikes, that's not gonna do it. Let's go like that, and then let's just turn the strength down. Just to see if having those wheels give them a little bit more flex, maybe that'll do it. No. I'm stuck here forever. This is the truck's new home now. Honestly, I'm fine with that because
Fuel critical.
like I think this stuff would be so hard to make it up anyway. Like when you stand here and look, dude, like look at this. This is taller than the character. So I think I'm okay with it not making it over that stuff. But let's just see if let's put it down here. We still got busted suspension parts, okay? Okay, it's gonna try and drive away, so we gotta be really fast because I didn't put the parking brake on. Get in there! Woohoo! Nailed it. Alright, let's show off what makes the Azov 7 great, though. Alright. We want to go up this mountain. We're on this little tiny strip of land, okay? It can turn around like nobody's business. And we're going to absolutely just send it right up this side. Full speed. Damage. Who cares? Let's just go. Oh! That's the Azov 7 move right there. It took the hit like a champ, though. I'd like to point that out. It took the hit like a champ. Alright, we're clearly not getting up the side of that. Let's go back down. Let's turn this way. Here we go, here we go. Will it hurt? Oh yeah, it's gonna hurt. Surprisingly, okay. I'll take that. It's a little damaged, not gonna lie, okay. And the wheels aren't turning the right way anymore. How did that happen? It changed it from steering the right way to not anymore? We crashed it so hard it broke the steering. But anyway, it's, I don't know. It's a fun truck. And our fuel connector still is attached. Even though we've crashed. Yep, it definitely snagged the ground like an Azov, doesn't it? There you go. I nailed it. Definitely snags the ground like an Azov. I must be doing something right. Let's try the jump jets. Here we go. Boing. I think it's a cool truck. It's just, it's cool. Maybe, I don't know. I hope the utility is there, but it doesn't seem like it is. But man, who cares? If it isn't, it's still cool. My woman laughs at me when she hears me saying "wiggle, wiggle," trying to get them SnowRunner trucks through the crud. That's funny. All right. Well, that's it. That's all I have for tonight. Let's end
Fuel critical.
with a let's end with flying a plane into a building. How about that? Why are my, okay, gotta slow down here. Why are my dampeners on auto? Oh, because I'm attached to this PCU limit. That can't be right. I must have forgot to turn it off. Gosh, really? It's crazy to me. Oh. I just took myself out of the... There we go. Alright. Don't be hating. Let's go. Does this thing got guns on it? Probably. I see some buildings. Target spotted. That truck graveyard you have is eating up the PCU. I know, I forgot to turn it off when I made the save. I'll have to go back in and turn it off. Okay. Here we go. We're spotted. You see I already put a hole in the side of that one. Let's do it again on this one. Yeah, here it comes. I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit. Oh. Oof. Wow, that is a sturdy ship. Okay. On that note, geez. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Take care of that real quick. All right, here goes. That's it. That ship is still flying. Shut up.
Fuel critical.
Gosh. What is that building? These are some Halo buildings I found online. I don't remember who made them. I'd like to give credit people, you know, where it's due, so I can't really, I don't know. I'd have to look it up and I'd have to find it. We have tons of them. Here, it's all these city blocks, but I don't have a name on them anymore because I've backed up all the stuff. And when I went back on my new PC, I re-imported them. But I have tons and tons of buildings built by this dude. They're not finished on the inside, but that would be fine. I mean, you can make it your own. Oh, shoot. That's not what I wanted to do for that. But anyway, you can pretty much set them anywhere. The good starting point. These are pre a lot of blocks. Like you can see, it's a lot of the old blocks. So these are fairly old. Like could use some updates. Could do with new doors, new stuff like that. But yeah, I have tons of them. So, and then I have my own track. I have my own racetrack pieces for myself, which aren't these. If we were to look up, you can see I've made corners and intersections and jumps, and straights, and yeah. Anyway, the city blocks I have from that guy, quite a few. Trying to see if I can find one that would just be like, oh my gosh. They're all pretty cool. Like, even for being so old, like they still have a lot of detail. So like they look really cool. On the insides, if we were to go on the inside of one of them, let me cut my way through here. If we were to look on the inside, it's not finished out. So you could make it your own and, you know, kind of do whatever you want on the inside. But yeah, like this one doesn't even look like it has doors. I don't think it does. Oh, there's some doors right there. Yeah. Yeah. Nice build. I know they're pretty cool. I'll try and find the builder so we can give them some credit because like I said, I don't like using other people's stuff if I don't have credit for them. So yeah. These are really old though, and they were all, I'm pretty sure on the workshop they were all listed under Halo stuff. And that's, I mean, like when you look at the buildings, like a lot of that stuff has that Halo-esque look to it, you know, like it's all angular. Pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, but there's no new blocks in sight on these. Pretty much all of these blocks existed for a long time. They're pretty old. That doesn't matter. I'm just saying they've been out there for a long time. And there's tons of them. I have quite a few of them. There's a skyscraper even, which is a pretty ginormous one. You can see it took forever just to load it as a blueprint. I was like, what? Let's set that one down here. Hang on a second. It's really hard to see the ground when you're trying to plant this one. Oh, it's going to complain about PCU, I bet. It's not that much. Come on. Won't let it do it? Oh, we've got tons of building. Maybe like that? Won't let that one place. I don't know why. Let me get it closer. There's a PC limit in just that building. Nah, that's not that bad. I don't know why it won't place that. I think my favorite thing, if I still have it, like, you know, people make so much stuff. I think one of my favorites is, let's just go up to space real quick. Let me find it.
Fuel critical.
One of my favorites is still, oh my gosh, Void Station by Shadow Trace. This is one of my favorites. And this is pretty old, but you can see this is 13,000 blocks on its own. Oh my god, am I really at a PC? Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna worry about it tonight. I gotta go to bed. But geez, yeah. We'll have to look through builds. That's what we should do. Is just maybe we'll just start exploring some builds in our goof around time. So there's some really good ones out there. That's it for me. Let me turn the music down and hit the play button. I'm out of here. Savaz, have a good day. Have a good Sunday. I hope you had a good 4th. And I will be back Monday. Until then, I'll see you guys. I don't know what we're gonna do on Monday. I don't know. I'm kind of spaced out, and I'm kind of SnowRunnered out. So I don't know if I want to find something else to do or not. I'm out of here though. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next stream. Bye. See ya.